Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. And as always, you know me, I like to give a shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. All right, so I'm hitting you with another banging interview today. I'm just trying to put out positive content right now because there's so much negativity going on, and I just want to try to put out as much positive stuff as possible. So I got another special guest on today. All right, everybody. So welcome to my show, Javone Dr.Love Jones.
What's up? What's going on?
What's going on, brother, man? I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I just want you to come on and just tell people your story, man, because right now we're in some dark times and we need some light. And like I said before earlier, I just want positive content, and I just want to try to just enlighten this world a little something about more.
Understandable. First off, thank you for having me on. That's part of my life goal, is to be able to always have light, bring some positive energy and bring that great energy, because no matter what's going on around us, we always have the power to make our situation, our life better. As long as you're breathing in that good old air, you can always make your life better.
Absolutely, man. So you're a life coach, I'm. Me personally, I know I need some work, and I'm working on all that. Even actually starting doing this podcast was facing one of my fears. So little by little, I'm facing little fears that I have to stop fear from dominating my life, and I just threw myself cold turkey into this thing, and just been riding it ever since the last few weeks, man. Just been grinding and talking to as many people as I can. And just spread out whatever message that I have and whatever message the people want to share.
Well, absolutely. And one thing you gotta, and trust me, I understand the fears, because I've had them, and a lot of people do. But the one thing you're doing is you're taking action, and you're winning right now against your fears, because you're not allowing it to shape your destiny. You're still going to take action, and in life, it's not about being perfect. It's about just getting started. Once you get started, you can always adjust how you can do. If you shoot that basketball and you airball, you got to put a little bit more, a little more force behind it. If you hit the back iron, you might want to take a little bit off of it. If you go left, you might want to aim it a little more to the right, and vice versa. But you won't know that if you don't take the shot. You will not. So the fact that you're out here doing this podcast, you're setting this tone, and you're inspiring other people that no matter how you feel and the fear that you have, you could come in and just do what you feel passionate to do. Follow that passion; it will lead to your purpose.
That's awesome. That's what we need, man. We need more brothers like you to just keep spreading your word, and just get the message out there, man, that we can get through this.
Oh, so yeah. All right. So, do you want me to start with my story? Do you want me?
Brother, tell the people where you from, man. Tell them what you do.
All right. So, my name is Javone Dr.Love Jones. I am an author, speaker / coach. I was born and raised in North New Jersey. I currently reside in Kissimmee, Florida. So how did I get to this point in life where I'm doing coaching and speaking? Let's just say I had a pretty long journey, and as we go on, I'm gonna touch on bits and pieces. But basically, for starters, I was not always this confident, this knowledgeable, this person. I had to develop and grow. And one of the things that kind of affected me is I went to special education. So from grades 1 through 12, I was considered special ed. They said I had the district in my town that I was living in said I had a learning disability and speech disorder. So going to special ed messed with my esteem because it made me start to question whether I'm not worthy of being amongst the regular. Like I always looked at myself as lesser, though I always had a certain level of confidence within me. But my circumstances around me was telling me otherwise. So through there, I was able to become valedictorian twice when I graduated into high school, and when I graduated from high school, I was valedictorian then those times. And I had going to college, first time being in a school with in a regular learning environment. So I had those experiences as I got out of college and got into adulthood because I dropped out of college. So going through adulthood, life hit me. I became a father at 23. Had a lot of ups and downs going with that, and over it all culminated because about 2017, I became depressed, and my depression. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I might have been dealing with. I was dealing with depression before. Like when my daughter was born, I was dealing with depression, but I was not operating from a highest purpose. I was operating from my lowest self for a lot of my 20s. So I was just doing what I gotta do, live how I gotta live, and everything. But I got to a point where I started wanting to, get into self-development, and I was exposed to a lot of different information, reading books, going to different seminars and stuff like that. But when I got to a point where my depression kicked in, it's because I realized I was doing a lot of work, but it was not showing for anything. I was still at a job making barely anything. I was still struggling. I got behind on my child obligations. And, life became one of those things. It was like, damn, I started questioning, like, am I even good for anything? So I was able to break out of that. And then I relocated because I spent 30 years in Jersey. And I moved out here. It's been almost 2 years out here in Florida. But once I got out of here, I decided that it was necessary for me to write a book. And then I wrote the book. I wrote this book. It's called Level Up, How to Start Living Your Best Life Now. And the purpose of that book is a self-help book showing people that no matter what you have at this moment, whatever it's in your bank account, whatever you're making at your job, whatever skills you acquire up to that current moment, whether it's knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to polish floors, whatever skill you had, how can you create the life of your desires, where you're doing everything and you're living for a purpose? Because living your best life is not just about the extravagant travel and all that lovely stuff that people be doing on the TV, internet, and stuff like that to make it look like they're living it up. Because a lot of people you might think are doing well in life because they financially look good, but inside they're not happy. So the goal is to work on doing the things that's going to make you happy, that's going to create income that's going to make you happier, and so you can live the life that's going to make you the happiest. So that's probably my quick bio.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, because me personally, I do a lot of self development. I read a lot of self help books, but that's me wanting to learn and become and grow as a person, and that's me knowing that I'm not perfect and I still have a lot of growth. And so when I speak to someone like you, that we're similar, we've had a similar journey to where we're a little bit more confident in ourselves than when we were in the past, and where we're accepting now that, hey, listen, we're not perfect and we're still learning, but at the same time, you still need to just enjoy life as well. As when you're building towards a better life, you need to take in the now and enjoy the now as well, and be grateful for the now. That's how I look at at things at times. But I would love for you to reflect on something like that. And
It's like the old saying, It's a saying that I heard years ago when I was a kid. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. It's it's today is a gift. That's why it's called a present.
Yes.
So you have to recognize now. My beliefs, as an adult, are slightly different. But the main important to understand is that this moment is the most important moment of anything. This moment matters. This conversation we have is the most important conversation you have because it's happening right now. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter what's going to happen after. Right now is a catalyst to you to learn from, so you can always go back and say, hey, this is what I could have done better, and use that as a lesson. So when you go forward, you already have past information. But it can't happen without this current moment. We live in the present moment. Sometimes our minds travel into different places. You know, we time travel. We can time travel. We could go into our past and our future. But the most important right now is learning how to appreciate this current moment, because once this moment is gone, it's gone. There's no do back this moment. There's no, if you say something that's you talking to somebody at that moment and you said something that is disrespectful or wrong to them, you can't go back and unsay said what you said.
No,
Once you say it, yeah.
yeah, and it's like
So
it's some of these people who in the past tweet some offensive things or whatever they post or whatever, and it comes back now to even though they might be in a better place or they might not be that same person. I'm saying it comes back to haunt them.
absolutely. And though I don't agree with the idea of holding people accountable for something they said years ago, because I do believe in growth happening. However, it still doesn't change the fact that once you said something, once you put it out there, it's out there,
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's something.
and
It's
that's
yeah,
the reality.
yeah. I'm more mindful now at what I post, even though sometimes I might slip and post something that I know I really shouldn't post, and it gets to me, and then someone will check me on it, and I won't get offended by it. It's because when I know I'm wrong and somebody points it out to me, I'm there. It's like I accept that fact. Yes, I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong. I acknowledge that, but that's how I grow as a person. I take whatever life experiences are thrown in my way, and I deal with it, and then from that situation, I'll learn and know, like, okay, this is how I'm gonna start. This is how I have to deal with certain situations.
That's all you can do. We're not going to be perfect here. We're going to mess up. We're going to make some mistakes. Some of them going to be small, some of them going to be big, some of them going to be major. The most you can do is after you make a mistake is learn from it. First thing you got to do is forgive yourself for making a mistake. A lot of times we put blame on doing things that we think we should have known, but you only made decisions was based on the information that was presented to you at that moment. The moment that you grow and you learn that there's more information to that, then you can do better. But at that current moment, you felt what you felt, you thought what you thought, you believe what you believe. And that doesn't make you the worst person in the world. So learning to forgive yourself after you made that mistake is key, because you have to, the conversation that you have in your head is more important than the conversation you have with anybody. If you're having destructive conversations within yourself, where you're just telling yourself the worst things, telling you things that it would bother you if someone else told you, but yet you tell yourself that all the time. So those are the things you just got to remember whenever you're trying to you're making a decision, you're doing what you got to do. As long as you are aware of your lesson, you don't allow your ego to take over where you just think you're never wrong. As long as you accept you're wrong and do the right things to try to do right, you that's those are the positive steps that's going to help. That's going to be beneficial to you going forward.
So you had mentioned your book Leveled Up. Can you tell us a little bit something about the book?
All right, so Level Up is a book. The purpose of the book is a self-help book. And what made me decided to write this book is that once I got out of depression and I started recognizing that, hey, I learned some stuff. I did a lot of self-work, whatever. And I have a great way of retaining information. So I decided that it was necessary to write this book because I do truly believe that when it comes to living it, everybody has the means to live their best life, but many people don't, all because they are held back in some way. Some people are held back by their finances. Some people are held back by their circumstances. But most of the time, all of those are just physical things. The real things that really hold people back is how they interpret their situation. So in this book, the purpose is I have 8 chapters with an intro and an outro. Each chapter is not called a chapter, it's called process. The reason why I named the chapters process instead of just using the traditional chapters is because each process, it's going to take a process to apply those things to your current situation. So it's a process to learn, it's a process to grow. So when you read each process, it's going to add to your growth, but that takes time. And also, you have to process the information so it can speed along the process. Because if you're not processing information, then you can't have a process of learning. So all of these things are new things for some. For a lot, it's more reminders, and I'm talking about many different topics from self-love, knowing your gifts, building relationships, sexual energy, money mindset, and legacy. Those are the most of the chapters I'm talking about. So that's the best way I can tell you about the book.
All right, that's good. That's good, man. Definitely. Are you on Amazon or you have a website they can check out and see and check out the book?
I am on Amazon, but if you want to purchase my book, you can go to my website, which is levelupbestlife.com. From there, it will take you on to where you can go and purchase my book.
Okay, cool. So on your website, you share information with people with where they can contact you and everything, right? Instagram and Twitter and everything, or hello?
Okay, so if you need Instagram, my Instagram handle is for my personal Instagram. Well, not my personal, but my page is Javone. Not Javone, which is Dr._Love Jones. So Dr. Dr._Love Jones, and also you can go follow my book page, which is Level_Best Life. You can go to both places, and you can follow me. You can follow my book. You can follow both.
Nah, we want them to follow both. Yeah. So if you go to his thing, follow both, not just one. Follow both. We want to keep spreading this brother's message out there. We want to keep spreading the positivity out there, and his book is something that we need to start reading, and we need to just start sharing with everybody. So I'm gonna keep promoting your book out there, brother. I'm actually gonna pick up a book and read it and see and apply it myself. So after I get it and I start applying it, I'm definitely gonna give you a call. We definitely gonna sit down and chop it up more, and I'm gonna tell you how I felt about the book.
Absolutely, man. Much appreciated. Definitely. I'm grateful for anybody that takes the time to even read my book, I'm grateful for the fact that you got me here to speak, because at the end of the day, though I know I have a powerful message and everything, you don't owe me anything. I'm just grateful that you recognize the greatness within me as I recognize the greatness within you.
Listen, brother, we just need to keep spreading the love and sharing each other's message. And that's why, like I said, this is why I'm doing this podcast. I just want to spread a positive message. I want to keep putting people out like you, positive people who are trying to live a better life and trying to make this a better world. So if my part is bringing your voice out there, then that's what I'm gonna continue to do.
Absolutely. And I think you got a very important purpose to that, because the more we are heard, the more it inspires, especially me, inspires me to do more, because the hardest thing to do is, and you don't understand this, is to feel like no one is listening.
And
The hardest thing is to speak is when you feel no one's listening. So
definitely. But I'm gonna just keep speaking. Somebody's gonna eventually hear me, man. And that's all I need.
Oh, no.
No. I know what you mean. I understand what you mean.
Let me get that right.
I understand what you mean, brother. Believe me, I understand what you mean.
I got it, but I'm about affirmation, so saying the right word.
Of course,
so,
yes, no, you have to listen. That's something I believe in. That's something I definitely believe in, where affirmation should be applied to your life every day. You should be positive and affirm everything you want in your life, because if you don't, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna materialize for you, man. You have to put that thought out and that energy out there. But now, believe me, absolutely. I believe all that, man. Yeah, man. I know what you meant.
Absolutely, and trust me, I can tell by what you're talking about. I know you're a reader. I know you're sharp. You pay attention. You learning. You're on your growth path. Salute to you, brother.
Nah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. And I just, like I said, I just want to. I feel that I try to improve every episode. I try to do whatever I can to make myself better. So with every episode, I'm getting a little better, and I'll get to the point where I'm really comfortable with what I'm putting out. Even though I know I'm still putting out some good stuff right now, it's just gonna get better with time, because I'm gonna attract more and more of the same energy back to to the podcast. And like I said, I greatly appreciate you coming on, man. And I'm gonna keep promoting. Like I said, once I get the book and I read it, we're gonna chop it up and definitely discuss the book. Definitely, man.
Absolutely, and I'm ready, and I'm excited to do that, and just stay connected. I also got a book club, the crew page on Facebook. If you are interested in learning the information, I do some weekly reads from the book there. So that's also a great place to come in and be a part of a little community, because the book is called Level Up, and the goal is to get people on that type of time. We all need to focus on getting to the next level in whatever we're doing.
Okay, so definitely is a Facebook. Is something you do Facebook Live where you read part of the book?
Yeah, I do it, but I do it for my group page, so for my fan club page. Fan club, my group, my
your
book
fan
club
page, book club page. I got you. I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna put a link to it on my fan page actually. And I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna definitely check one of the episodes out, man. When do you go live? When do you do it?
I'm doing it every Monday between 7 and 8 o'clock, usually based on what I'm doing at that time. But I usually put it out on my Facebook that I'm going live at a certain time. So
you, on your page, do you have past episodes? Maybe I can probably get caught up.
Well, yeah, if you go on my personal page on Facebook, you can find some old readings I have, because I did about 4 readings on my personal page. Okay. But then, I wanted to kind of move my concept into my group, because it's still a book and I still want to encourage people to get it. But I also want people to, not just stumble upon my timeline, but to be a part of something to get it. You understand? So
you share. Listen to me. I know you're sharing whatever knowledge you have, and that's what you're supposed to do. And keep Absolutely. Doing. Listen, brother, I salute you. Keep doing that, and I'm definitely looking forward to us talking again, because, like I said, like minds start attracting each other, and I'm attracting more people that think like me and who want to progress in a much more positive way. And I just appreciate you coming on, man. You don't understand that it truly is. It is humbling to have people want to be on my show, and I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, and I will give it back to you because it's humbling for somebody to want me on this show as well. Trust me.
But all right, so definitely, I'm gonna keep checking with you, and we're definitely gonna do this again soon. I appreciate you being on the call, brother, and definitely shout out to you, man. Nothing but love, and we're gonna do this again, man. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, and we'll be connected.
Definitely, man. All right, everybody. So that was Javone Jones. Oh, Dr. Love Jones. Definitely that. We got to add the Dr. Love Jones in that part. But it was awesome having you. You have a great day. Be blessed, my brother, and be safe out there, all right?
All right, same to you, my brother. Peace.
Peace. All right, that was Javone Dr. Love Jones, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on the show, brother, man. And so... listen, I'm just keep putting out content whenever I can. I just got to I'm just grinding and just keep putting stuff out. I'm going to just keep flooding you with more stuff every time. And it's just, I'm just loving this. I'm having a great time. I appreciate everybody who supported me. Love you all. All right, so big shout out to my Mount Airy crew. Miss you guys. Big shout out to Poppy J from Talking Real 1000 with Poppy J. And a big shout out to my beautiful queen. Love you, my baby Fina. And also, big shout out to my global reality radio family. So as always, Wise is out. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at @wise_b_blunt, Instagram at @wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.